Hello! Hello! Thank you for checking in. It's Friday! Thank God! It's finally Friday, Funny Friday, where we share jokes to put everybody in a good mood for the weekend. So I hope you've got some jokes to share. It is massively hot here. Super duper hot. I'm sweating my butt off. And I've been in the house, was waiting all day for an inspector. The landlord called last minute. Inspector, you have to be here. Some sort of insurance inspector is inspecting. Never showed up. Hours. Oh. Thank you very much. All right, and we've got a long one here already to start. Oh, before we start, let me say hello. Let me say hello to Tesis. Oh, we might have to. I might have to hang on. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello to Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and Has Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Beatty and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimis and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Angie Tomlinson and Sue, Sam and St. Clinton and Philip Chandler and Red Steeper and Joe Barney and Edwin QOV and John McCain and Wing Doggy. Thank you for checking in, Sue. Let me make sure I got everyone. Woohoo! Hello! Woohoo! Oh no, there's a couple long ones here. Hang on. I might have to redo them because this doesn't like. Jesus says 1090 ratings. Sid and Irv are business partners. They make a deal that whichever one dies first will contact the living one from the afterlife. So Irv dies, and Sid doesn't hear from him for about a year. So he figures, hey, there must not be any afterlife. Then one day he gets a call. It's Irv. So there's an afterlife. What's it like? Sid asks. And Irv says, well, I sleep late, I get up, I have a big breakfast, then I have sex, lots of sex, and then I go back to sleep, we have a big lunch, and I get up and there's more sex. I take a nap, huge dinner, more sex. Go to sleep, wake up the next day. Oh my God, Sid. So that's what heaven's like? Oh no, says Irv. I'm not in heaven. I'm a bear in Yellowstone Park. Ba-dum-bum. We got one from YouTube. What did the pig say to the beach on a hot summer day? I'm bacon! I'm bacon! That's right, you are. And Linda's got one. Two guys are standing in line to enter heaven. One turns to the other and asks how he died. First guy says, I froze to death. How about you? And the second guy says, I had a heart attack. How did that happen? Well, I suspected my wife was cheating on me, so after work, I went straight home. I ran upstairs to find my wife sleeping by herself. Then I ran back downstairs and looked in all the hiding spots. When I was running back up the stairs, I had a heart attack. That's ironic. Why? Asked the first man. Because if you'd looked in the freezer, we'd both still be alive. Oh. Womp womp. Damn it. I knew I was right. I knew it. I knew it. Thank you, Linda. That one was funny. Sam's got another one. What do you call a French guy at the beach in sandals? Flip flop. Flip flop. Flip flop. Jesus says, a lady at a party goes up to Winston Churchill and says, Sir, you are drunk. Churchill replies, Yes, madam, and you are ugly. In the morning, I'll be sober. Winston. That's not very nice. Sam says, how hot is Los Angeles summer? So hot that I saw a fire hydrant chasing a pack of dogs. Come pee on me! And I wanted a fire hydrant. Pee on me! Wait! No, there's some people that pay extra for that. That's called a special service in some circles. In fact, they call it water sports. Not the kind in the Olympics. You just say. Speaking of which, today, again, I had to say the sentence, which you never think you're going to have to say. Hi, please don't pee in my house. Please don't, hi, please don't pee outside my window. This is my house. I live here. There's a bathroom inside the bookstore. Thank you. Oh, so very sorry. Sorry. I've seen like 3 guys peeing outside today. What is it, National Pee Outside My Window Day? David Jones says, why do novice pirates make terrible singers? Because they can't hit the high seas. Oh! Sam says, I asked my Canadian friend, did you have a good summer? And he replied, yes, indeed. We had a great picnic that afternoon. Womp womp. Because there's no summer in Canada. It's so short. It's one day. 360 days of winter, 4 days of fall, and 1 day of summer. That's Canada. Tisa says, Jack Benny is walking down the street when a stick-up man pulls out a gun and says, your money or your life? An extremely long silence follows. Your money or your life? Replies the thug. Finally, Jack Benny says, I'm thinking. All right, take my wife. Been married 20 years. She's a piss poor cook and she nags a lot. Please take my wife. In fact, I'd give you the money and my wife. And Mrs. Jack Bunny says, please take my husband. He never appreciates me. Hey, Sue. Sam says, what does a bee do when it's hot? He takes off his yellow jacket. Wait. It's Funny Friday, where we share jokes to put everybody in a good mood for the weekend, and I hope you have a great weekend planned. I have been just sweltering in my house all day long, waiting all afternoon for inspectors who ended up not showing up. Yeah. Womp womp. Womp womp womp. Thank you, Linda. Sam says, how do heat lamps communicate? By lamp post. Lamp Twitter. They've been around for a long time. Sam says, I didn't know you were old enough to know those Take My Wife jokes. Actually, I don't know Jack Benny. I know the name because people say him, but he's before my time. I've never actually seen him. But the Take My Wife things has been repeated like a million times for like the last 70 years. I don't know, 50 years, however long that is. Don't need to know Jack Benny to know that. He says, hang on. This won't let me go backwards. So if I miss a joke, I can't. This won't let me scroll back at all. I can't even go back like one thing. So. Wing Doggy says, put a motion detector. I don't need a motion detector, Wing Doggy. It's right in front of my window. I see the guy walk by, and then I look out, and he's like, I'm like, hello. Could you not do that? Oh. I'm like, it's a foot and a half. I'm on one side of the window. He's right a foot and a half away. I'm like, hello. And he's like, oh, there's a person right there, a foot and a half away from me. Well, I'm holding my wiener. Oh. Oh. Bye-bye. Wing Doggy says, Melody Patterson from F Troop died at 66. Huh? I don't know F Troop. Wait, I don't know, died at 66? Oh, you mean just now? She was 66 years old. She just died. I don't know who she is, but I'm sure. I've never seen F Troop. That's also another one. At a White House party, a woman approached Calvin Coolidge, famed for his silence, and said, Mr. President, I made a bet I could get more than 2 words out of you. He replied, you lose. I want to see more than 2 words. I don't know what show F Troop is, but Melanie, for anyone who knows what F Troop is, Melody Patterson died, who was, I guess, one of the characters on it. Oh, Sam says Henny Youngman was the king of the Take My Wife jokes. Okay, those are two old comedians. I'm not familiar with their work, but I know the names. Henny Youngman and Jack Benny. They were around like early Johnny Carson kind of time, I think. Sam says, my wife and I are inseparable. In fact, last week it took 4 troopers and a dog to get us apart. Speaking of complicated family relations, I just read an article. There's some show, and I've never heard of the show or these people or anything, but I guess the show is called Married to Medical, some reality show about doctors. Anyhow, one of the wives of the doctor guy, I forget their names, they were having an argument. He accused her of cheating. I guess he was going through her phone and found some texts that indicated she was cheating on him. She freaked out, started, I don't know, throwing stuff, trying to hit him. Then she took a knife and started cutting herself. Now, remind you, he is a doctor. She's the doctor's wife. He's a doctor, so he would be very good at cutting. You'd say that's one of his skills. So she takes a kitchen knife and she's cutting herself and screaming, he's cutting me! He's cutting me! Meanwhile, her kids are right there. Yeah, so apparently that didn't work out in the brilliant plan. The brilliant plan that she had was that she would self-inflict, except she did it in front of him and the kids. So everybody knew she was lying. So she tried to self-inflict wounds on herself to say that he had cut her poorly, cut herself poorly too, not even with the skill of a surgeon. Yeah, so I believe they're now getting divorced. They're separated. He's got, I think he has an order of protection against her and custody of the kids. Ah! Somebody's having a bad day. And I bet the side piece she was cheating with is not going anywhere near that pile of crazy. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, you work out that stuff. Gee. Sam says, first guy says, my wife is an angel. Second guy says, oh boy, are you lucky. Mine's still alive. Oh, Sam says, Henny Youngman and Jack Benny are from the 50s. Okay, that is 65 years ago. The 50 is 60. That's 55 to 65 years ago. Yeah, before my time. Linda has a joke. A blonde asks her friend, what does IDK stand for? The brunette says, I don't know. And the blonde goes, oh my God, nobody does. Who's on first? That's what I want to know. Tisa says, my sister was with 2 men in one night. Oh, boy, yeah. 2 men in one night. She could hardly walk after that. Can you imagine 2 dinners? Whoa! I had lobster and steak. David Jones says, Frankenstein enters into a bodybuilding competition and finds that he has seriously misunderstood the objective. I thought it was bodybuilding. No, you're here. No. Womp womp. Sam says, my doctor, all my doctor cares about is money. I went to the doctor's office and he grabbed my wallet and says, cough! Is that all you got? Linda has been, 2 blondes fell down a hole. One says, it's dark in here, isn't it? The other one says, I don't know, I can't see. I'm in a hole. Tisa says, 3 kids come down to the kitchen and sit around the breakfast table. The mother asks the oldest what he would like to eat. He says, I'll have some fucking French toast. And the mother's outraged by his language and hits him and sends him upstairs. You get upstairs. She asks the middle child what she would like. She says, well, I guess that leaves more fucking French toast for me. She says, oh my goodness gracious, and smacks her and sends her upstairs as well. Finally, she gets to her youngest son and says, and he says, I want breakfast. He said, and says, what do you... Gets to her youngest son and says, what do you want for breakfast? And the youngest son says, I don't know, but I know I definitely don't want any of that fucking French toast. I thought that's what it was called. No. Sam says, my doctor doctor said you're going to live till you're 60. And I said, but I am 60. And my doctor says, well, you see, I told you so. Thanks, Doc. I feel so much better now. Linda says, there was a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette, and they were all trapped on an island, and the nearest shore was 50 miles away. The redhead swam trying to make it to the shore, and she swam 15 miles and drowned. And then the brunette tried, and she swam 24 miles and drowned. And then the blonde swam, and she got out 25 miles, and then decided she was tired and turned around to go back. Wait. Well, how would you know how far you've gone anyhow when you're in the water? There's no mile markers. Jesus says, ooh, Jesus got a long one. Oh no, I can't go back. It won't let me go back to the beginning. The dog, a guy brings a dog to a talent scout and says, this dog can speak English, he claims to the unimpressed agent. Okay, sport. The guy says to the dog, what is on the top of a house? Roof, says the dog. Oh, come on, the talent agent responds. All dogs go roof. No, wait, says the guy. He asked the dog, what does sandpaper feel like? Roof, says the dog. And talent agent gives a condescending blank stare. He's losing his patience. And the guy says, no, hang on. This one's really going to amaze you. He turns to the dog and says, who, in your opinion, is the greatest baseball player of all time? Roof! Roof! Goes the dog, and the talent scout, seeing enough, and boots them both out of the office into the street. And the dog turns to the guy and says, oh, maybe I should have said DiMaggio. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone. That is the song of the talking frog from Bugs Bunny. Hello, my baby. You know that, Bugs Bunny. The guy he's a construction worker, he finds a box in a building they're demolishing, opens it up, there's a frog in the box that's been there for like 100 years. Suddenly, when he's all alone, the frog starts to sing, hello, my baby, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime gal. The guy's eyes light up with dollars. He goes, oh my God, I'm going to be rich, I've got a singing and dancing talking frog. Brings it around, opens it up, in front of everybody, he takes the frog just goes, nothing. As soon as he's alone, the frog sings and dances. Won't shut up. Anyone else is there? Finally, in desperation and frustration, he goes back to a new construction site and buries the frog in another building, only to have him discovered hundreds of years later in the future, and somebody else breaks down the building. Yep. Sam says, doctor, I have a ringing in my ears. Doctor says, don't answer it. They'll call back. Sam says, I went to see my psychiatrist and said, nobody listens to me. And the doctor says, did you say something? I'm sorry, time's up. Sam says, I went to the doctor. The doctor has a stethoscope on my chest, and he's listening. And I said, hey, doc, how do I stand? And the doc looks at me and says, that's what's puzzling me, too. Oh, no, there's another one, a long one here. On a passenger flight, the pilot comes on the public address system as usual, and he greets the passengers. He tells them at what altitude they will be flying, the expected arrival time, and a bit about the weather, and then advises them to relax and have a great flight. Then, forgetting to turn off the microphone, he says to his co-pilot, "What would relax me right now is a cup of coffee and a blowjob." All the passengers hear it. As his stewardess immediately begins to run towards the cockpit to tell the pilot of his slip-up, one of the passengers stops him and says, "Don't forget the coffee." Wing Doug. What do you call a melon? This is from David Jones. What do you call a melon that is not allowed to get married? Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. I'm a melon. So, oh my goodness, how is it already 5:47? David Jones says, the invisible man married the invisible woman. Let me tell you, the kids are nothing to look at either. All dogs. A guy shows up late for work, and the boss yells at him, "You should have been here at 8:30. The guy says, "Why? What happened at 8:30? You weren't here." Linda says, "I found a good one, but I can't say." Okay, Linda's teasing us. She found a good one, but it's too naughty for her to... Okay. Well, it is already past 5:45. I'm just about to sign off. But this has been an awesome Funny Friday. Oh no, this one is too long. I can't go back to the beginning. Oh, that was too long. I can't even read it because this won't let me go back at all. I can't. Thank you, YouTube. All right, I am just about to sign off, but I want to thank you guys for coming to see me because you're awesome. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Laura Star and Shocker and Sturdy Sky and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip and Mark Bean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Angie Tomlinson and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Sam and St. Clinton and Philip Chandler and N1QOV and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Wing Doggy. Thank you for checking in. I make sure I got everyone. This is for everyone. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the great jokes and teases. Have an awesome weekend. I've got great. Sam's got one last one. There was a girl knocking on my bedroom door all night long. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I let her out. Wah, wah. Tiaro? Thank you for the joke, Sam. I hope you feel better. Sending you love. All right. Kisses for everyone. I love you. Bye. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.